Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Nurturing Know-How. My name is Holly Broman, and I'm the Children's Librarian at Central Library. Rebecca Robertson is our fabulous stay and play, kind of everything for us, stay and play. And we have Jill Copeland and what's your last name again? Over here.
Christine Fleenor.
Christine Fleenor. There we go. Christine Fleenor joining us from Children's Resource and Referral. So they're going to share a lot about what Children's Resource and Referral does to really support children, families, caregivers, and the family, friends, and neighbors that do so much for the community and kids. So Jill, and do you want to go ahead and say a little bit, and then we'll get started with the slides.
You want to share the screen now? Sure. Well, thank you, everyone. Tonight, we're from Children's Resource and Referral, as Holly said. And the presentation we're giving tonight from the feedback that we've had was that persons in our community that are caring for other persons, maybe a neighbor, a grandma, an aunt, somebody who might be caring for children that could welcome other families in and start their own business. So this evening we have is family childcare the right business for me? And it might be a question that you're answering, kind of would like to do it, but you're not sure how. And we're here to explain how and what we can do to help you if this is a dream of yours. So first we have about a 7.5 minute video from Community Care Licensing. And it kind of goes over their presentation of what family child care can look like. Realize that it's a lot of information. We've considered the link at the bottom, as well as we're going to put it in the chat. So if you'd like to go back to it and look at it again, you have the opportunity. And then as they're talking and discussing throughout the video, we are also going to go over those same parts. So don't feel like you need to catch everything, because we're going to slowly work through it. So here we go.
Okay, so I just wanted to touch a little bit on our APP program, which is Alternative Payment Program. As you can see, there's two different sections. One that says Family Child Care Home Maximum Reimbursement. The second one is a Trustline. So we wanted to show the difference of what, as a Family Child Care Home, licensed Family Child Care Home, would receive if a provider has a parent that needs childcare, but is not able to pay that. So currently, as Christine was talking about, was that we've just received a good amount of funding, and we are enrolling right now in our APP program to help pay for childcare for a year for many families. So right now, full-time monthly for birth to 24 months, they could receive $1,016.36 compared to if it's a FFN Trustline, they would have received $711. So there's about a $300 difference. So we wanted to show that because we really want families to look at what they can achieve in their business. And we also, and this is from 2016, sorry. So we just received this. This actually comes effective January 1st. This is a new format and shows the breakdown, and it's still around about $330, the differences between the Trustline FFN to a family child care home. So we just would like to encourage families to enroll in our alternative payment program. So
absolutely,
especially because we have the funds right now. We're enrolling like crazy. So
I have a question real quick, if you have a second. So if you could give like an average of how much is then left for people to pay once they're reimbursed for it, because it's usually only a partial reimbursement for the care, correct? Is there a general average of how much people are paying for childcare of these types and how much they're
Right
paying.
now, if you're enrolled in the APP program, the parent has zero cost because of the pandemic.
So they would
It's-
actually receive full payment for a year for their children. And it's not just one child, it's their family. So if they have 5 kids, it would be covered. And it all based on if they're, what if they're, what if they qualify? I mean, they still have to qualify.
Family has to qualify.
Right. So. But it's a great time to enroll right now. And that's what we're doing like crazy.
But normally, Holly, you're right. There is a parent fee, and it's based on their financial status, and there's a sliding scale. So if the provider is, I'll just use round numbers and say it's $200 a week, then the parent may have a sliding scale depending on how much their income is of what their cost would be. And it could be $10, compared to that $200 fee.
Yeah, but they stopped the funding.
They've waived it right now, right?
Right, because
But that's what I'm saying. Normally,
right.
Yeah. Nothing is normal, and I realize that. I don't know if anything will ever be normal again. So right now, Santa Barbara County is enrolling families that have been on a wait list, like I shared earlier, for a couple years. So it's very exciting for our county.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to help support any family out there that needs it.
And it would cover for them for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Holly?
I think we'll hold more for the end. Thanks.
Okay, sounds great. So right here you see it's one of the flyers that we actually hand out, and it's in Spanish and English. This is like the real steps that Jill and Jessica support anybody who has a dream of owning their own family childcare. From the beginning of getting an application, they walk through all of these steps with them. So obtaining the application, to going online and taking the community care licensing orientation. If they have problems with support of trying to get on the computer, they help them with that. And then step 2, giving them the sheet of everything that's needed as far as immunization, and remembering to copy whether that new person that wants to become the provider needs copies so that they can keep their original documents. They help them through that. Step 3 is completing 16 hours of childcare, health and safety. We have in-house our own trainer for the health and safety course. And so we have the dates when that's being provided. It's bilingual. So we have no problem helping with that. We also give out a list of providers that are bilingual for CPR and first aid throughout our county. And then step 4, they'll talk about what they need for the home as far as health and safety. So a carbon monoxide and smoke detectors, a fire extinguisher. These are all the different steps that the ladies walk them through and give them support. So you guys can kind of see those, and I won't bore you with everything, but what we kind of see from step 1 all the route through step 7, we look at that and say there's about 2 months, can be 3 if there's an issue with community care licensing being backed up, and or there's a hold for some reason on the DOJ on criminal records. A lot of times, if somebody has had, let's say, been in the Air Force, there seems to be some lag because they have a high security of being in the military. Sometimes that takes a little bit longer. So we try not to frighten them and tell them sometimes that does happen, you know. So don't think that there's anything wrong, you know, we just gotta kind of wait. So that sometimes can take a little bit longer, but we see from beginning to end about 2 months.
And they have been very diligent of getting appointments going, getting response back, emailing as soon as they take that community care license orientation online, then it starts rolling. They start getting information. We help them with the application, any forms they don't understand, we walk them through that. We stand outside many times for an hour, just walking through a provider just to help them with the application. We help them to make sure that they have everything that they need before they send it off. Because one thing that we want to make sure is when the application goes to community care licensing, that it's approved. It's right on the spot. They know that we've helped them. They look through it, everything's good to go.
And we have a very good relationship with community care licensing. Anytime anything comes up, we have an open line communication with them. I can pick up the phone at any time and call the manager down at community care licensing. So that's not an issue. If it needs to go higher, our COO has the manager as well as the director. So anytime there's been any kind of issue, they want quickly to resolve anything, bring it to their attention so that we can help get these providers licensed. So it's wonderful. Okay, Jill.
Yeah. So this is just another file that we created. It's similar to what we just said, but we also provide free workshops. We do trainings twice a month. One in the beginning, one at the end. We assist with all of the requirements to get them to be licensed. We also, as they go through the process and when they're ready and their application is done, the community care license has sent their life scan fingerprints back to them. They go, we have that done. That's approved, ready to go. They'll make an appointment to come out to their home for an inspection. That's when we connect with them, say, hey, we're ready to do your mock visit. So we actually walk through their home, just like if we were community care licensing, looking at their safety issues, anything that needs to be fixed or anything that needs to be added. And we go and walk through that with them. So when community care licensing comes out, they can see everything is ready to go. And if everything's ready to go on that day, they will get licensed. So we get very excited when our providers call and say, hey, I'm licensed. So it's very exciting. We love that. So in community care license, they walk in, oh, you worked with Children's Resource and Referral. So they understand that we have that great relationship and we want to help provide assistance to those providers as they get their license. So.
And we also really concentrate on high quality. So we're going to do whatever we can to help each of the providers in setting up environments, if that's what they need. That pre-walkthrough that the ladies do, looking for health and safety issues. If it's an issue that the provider says, I have a wall heater and I don't know what to do. I know it needs to be some way safer. They've had lots of engineering ideas from other providers that have had the same situation, or I have a fireplace and we don't use it. What can I do? Okay, well, you know what? Let's make it a cozy corner or a bookcase. Or they just really go beyond helping each provider do what they can with the environment to be able to incorporate their home and make it a cozy place. So
yeah, we have many family child care providers that may have a large area, a large home. They can use many rooms. but we have some that are a single mom in an apartment and it all works. We, we help with those small rooms, small areas to the large rooms. So, but if there's something that we don't know, we will find the answer for. We will, send pictures and emails, and we'll describe things, and we just want to make sure that they feel comfortable and that they are ready for the community care license to come for their inspection.
So lastly, what the ladies do is once a month, they have a providers network in where they pick a topic, go over a topic of their liking. Then what they do is really what it is building relationships between other providers and mentoring within our county. So that's been really nice. It started some really great friendships, and they can bounce ideas off of each other, or what's working for you, what's not, how long have you been doing providing care for the children in your care, and getting ideas. So you're not in it alone.
Right. And they've, our providers have become good friends, and they call each other and say, hey, I've got this idea, what do you think? Or I want to do this, have you done this before? And when we do our network nights, which is the last training of the month, we have such neat friends and neat providers. And because we were doing it on Zoom and we open it up to other counties, we actually have people coming in from San Francisco to San Diego. And it's a really neat time where other providers that are even center-based will come in and say, hey, this works, or have you tried this, and this is great for us on this side, you could try it on this side. It's a really neat time when we network for those times. So
for those networking classes, is it for the child care providers who are like formally licensed, or are all of your
we I send out invitations to possible providers that are thinking of wanting to become a provider, and it goes out to everybody through the network nights, and we just want everybody to come in and get as much support, much assistance that they can, because they want them to feel comfortable that they can do it. I did it, you can do it.
This is reduplicable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and they just don't feel so alienated, especially during this time of the pandemic.
Right.
So we really want to offer lots of support however we can. So, and how it's opened up throughout California is that all of our trainings are through the workforce registry. So for a lot of people that don't know, the workforce registry is, I always explain it as it's like the driver's license for early care educators. So you sign up through this, all of the training that you do, anything you participate in that goes through the workforce registry follows you. You can make resumes through it. It's got all of your information and it follows you. So if ever you lose a certificate or something and you desperately need it, or some course that you took and can't find it, or your transcripts were lost, it maintains in it throughout any educator throughout California. Yes. So that's pretty exciting that we can do that. So that's how that's opened up. We register all of our workshops through that workforce registry. So anyone says, oh, hey, you're teaching on challenging behaviors. I need that right now. I need to sign up for that class because I have a child in our program, and we just did that last night. And I think we had about 6.
We had 10.
Yeah,
we had 10 participants.
Right. And 6 of them were center-based from other places.
Other counties
joining us. So it's a loved career.
And the one thing too that's really neat on the workforce registry is some people feel it's a challenge to register, but we walk you through that. We've done it many times, and we can sit and with a provider or potential provider and do a Zoom. We can share our screen and we can walk them right through it.
They make them a little card and laminate it so they can keep it with them. So
Yeah.
they've got their little card. So
This one is licensing upfront costs. We wanted to give you a little bit of idea of what it would cost to start up your business. So these are just general cost. It comes up to about 500. You've got your license orientation, preventive health, CPR, your vaccines, live scan, mandated reporter is free online, and then your application processing fee for your license. So it's about 500. But we did those 3 little dots, but we have some good news on that part. So at CRR and how we offer support, we also provide reimbursement, which is an incentive. So a lot of the upfront costs may be reimbursed. So may not, not all of it, but a lot of it. So we wanted to show that this is what it would cost to start, but then we will help you with reimbursements. We have a health and safety kit that's valued at $100, that once you're in that mode of you're ready to go to get that mock visit, we provide you with a emergency kit, a smoke detector, carbon monoxide. We do all of those latches for all those many drawers and cabinets and plugins, and we just want to give you as much resources as possible that you don't have to go out and buy. So that's in that bag. Again, we talked about the workforce registry, professional development training. We do the walkthrough visit. We support with setting up your environment. But now when you're licensed, you're ready to go, you got licensed, you need help getting more children to come. So we do a referral service. Daniela, who's our specialist, we connect you with her. She'll get some information of, what your hours are, your fee that you're going to charge, where you live, what do you provide. So when a parent calls and say, I need childcare, then we give 6 referrals every time to that parent, and the parent can call and say, hey, is this going to work for me? Then there's a criteria that we give to that parent to look for in a childcare. So we help through that. We also do a food program reimbursement, which is wonderful. You're getting reimbursed for what you're buying to feed the kids, but it's healthy foods. It's reimbursed like what you would do from a school aspect. They get reimbursement, and you're in that same boat with that. You're getting healthy foods, and you can include your own children in that too. You can get reimbursed for feeding your own children. So it's 3 meals. It can be two snacks and a dinner or lunch, or it can be a dinner and a lunch and a snack. But you can have that as a reimbursement for you. And then again, we talked about the alternative payment program. So these are what things we support here. Any questions on that so far?
So this is the first flyer. Do you need help finding childcare? This is our referral. So these are out in the community. These are on our website. We're making sure that they're offered in places that need childcare. So this is how we can help find childcare, whether the family is looking for center-based, a family childcare, just a before and after school program, kind of like the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, that kind of thing. Or is it more specific? Do they need weekends? Do they need care for those non-traditional hours? And then offering that same time, any kind of financial support that we can offer concerning that childcare. So this is what we promote, and this is what we do, and this is how we support the provider.
And one thing too, we the food program, we have two our staff here that will walk through that. There's an orientation, you get a binder, everything is done online, but if you need help to understand how to do that, they walk you through that. Every program we have staff here to walk through if there's technical issues, if there's things are just not understandable, we will walk through. We have bilingual staff here. So.
And you can see the average monthly reimbursement for a provider caring for 6 children is about $720 of reimbursement for serving healthy meals. So, and they're not out of the box, but, and it's fun. It's really fun. So they always give out little menus, new ideas. So they will always come up with something. It makes it fun. So the last thing is the final financial assistance, which we talked about. This is something else that we put out within the public. We talk about our COO and CEO have been on the radio talking about it on Sunny Country. Our love is to make sure that we have providers that are having high quality and a home that's loving and safe for the children within our counties. And we are here to support that work. That's what we do. So that we want to put that out there.
There we go. Okay.
So now we just want to open up the space to be able to answer any questions that somebody might have. And no question can be silly. Everybody's circumstances are different. And so sometimes it's a little out of the box, but we usually have an answer.
While we wait to see if anyone else has questions, there's a couple that I know came in. First of all, you mentioned the vaccination requirements that are one of the investments and preparations. Is COVID vaccination now a requirement?
It is not. It is not.
Yeah.
It is for some of the schools. Teachers at some schools have to. I don't know how that will look in the near future for family childcare, but as of now, no.
So the only vaccine that's required is the DTaP, the MMR, and then the flu vaccine. If you're choosing not to do the flu, because that's not required, you just have to have a letter stating why, and that goes into the application packet. Oh, and of course the TB. The TB is required.
And then I will also just kind of share that myself and Karina Costa, who is our provider services coordinator, we do a once a month network call. It's a Zoom, and it's a provider where providers can join us, and it's our own entity. We can bring up questions, anything new out from licensing, a new PIN that comes out, how to be COVID compliant. We give out all the resources for that. And we have since the beginning of COVID. We started this March 2020. And so we've added that place where providers feel supported, but can ask questions without anybody else who isn't a provider, which is kind of a safe place where you're not going to be judged by parents or anything like that. Just a real safe place.
To ask those really needed questions.
Right.
Yeah, because every day that something changes, every day you never know. So we try to always stay on top of anything that's new with the state, anything new with the county, to give those providers the assurance that we will help you through this. We've done 6 or 7 distribution days.
We had distributions where if you go on to the Children's Resource and Referral website, you will see us handing out PPE. We've done it several times, making sure providers have gloves, making sure they have disinfectant. Karina and I in the beginning where we came up and we were doing science on our network night, making hand sanitizer because there was none to be found in the state of California. much Layard County. So we were giving out the recipe and we did it right there live so that providers could duplicate it.
Right.
So whatever was coming up, we were trying to be in the foresight to try to be able to have some kind of answer.
That's amazing. If someone wanted to meet you in person right now, you have a location on State Street, but what is the process for that right now?
So if they wanted to come into the office and pick up a packet, either for childcare, for this assistance that we're talking about, they can go there. They can call our office first and ask for a packet for sure. They can go on the website. They can download the application and drop it off there. We are trying to be so flexible that we've extended our hours and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday, we've been here till 8 p.m.
Right. In Santa Barbara, though, their hours are 8 to 5. But definitely call the office. They can stop in. Eva, who's in our SIP program, she definitely will be there to hand out and give out the information. Or if they call, she can email, and which we can do here. We can email all the information that they need to start up all the packet.
And both Miriam and Eva that support our office down there are both bilingual.
Yes.
So they can support everybody.
Okay. Do you have more questions?
Yeah. So there are tiers of services, right? There's babysitting, there's small child care, there's a larger child care, there's like the full scale preschool. What would you say to people who are wondering like which one they should apply for licensing for? Like what are the guidelines? What are the ratios?
So for a provider that wants to start out small, that has not been and not working with children currently, then they would start out with the small license. To go to a large license, you need to have a year experience. So we have a provider, actually today, a provider that called and said, I've been working in the school district right now for 5 years. So currently she can apply for a large license because she will get a referral, a recommendation from where she's working at right now, showing that she's worked for 5 years for them. So starting out small is great. It gives you experience. You know, you're starting out trying to figure out all the ins and outs of having your own business, having a family childcare. So we help you through that because there's a lot of information to go through and a lot of new things that you're going to be learning. So let's start.
License exempt.
For license, okay, so you can explain license.
Okay, so license exempt, which is, or you're watching your neighbor. If you indeed are just watching that family, let's say next door, and you're taking care of them, that's fine. If you take care of more than one family, you're now really running a business. So at that point, you have to apply for a small license. Does that make sense? So one thing,
quick clarification on that. Does that mean taking care of multiple families' children at the same time, or does that mean overall? So some caregivers might take care of one family's children on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the other family on Tuesday, Thursday. Would they still fall into that category?
how can I put that? I wouldn't suggest that. How's that? If that's what you were doing, I would suggest then getting licensed. If you're caring just for one family, then yes, then you can be license exempt. It gets a little sticky with licensing and licensing regulations. And then the next thing you know, they come out and they know that you're caring for multiple children. And so because there's multiple children, that can look at like a business.
And if you're not licensed.
And you're not licensed, now you have a penalty.
Right. We don't want.
We don't want that. So we
We don't
would
want
rather just say, if you're working 5 days a week, but with 2 different families, how can we support you to get you licensed? Because
Right.
that's what we would like to do.
Right, yeah. And and if you look at what we just showed on the APP program, as a license compared to a Trustline FFN family, you have a $300 difference of what you can receive per month. So it's a big difference. And that's just for one child. That's just one person. So if you have 6, if you're caring for 6 kids, times that by 3, you're at $1,800. I'm trying to think of that, $1,800. That's a lot of money. So, you can build your business very quickly with a high quality family childcare. So we want to help you with that. So, go ahead, Holly.
Oh, I was just going to ask to follow up with that first. Where do the families and parents go to apply for that reimbursement? And then also about Trustline, like what are the benefits to getting that Trustline license? I guess it's not really a license.
Like
certificate.
Trustline is somebody who really doesn't want to make this their career. Maybe they're a stay-home mom who has a baby of their own and their girlfriend, she's watching them, or a grandma who, this is not her career.
Retired. She just wants to
Retired.
take care of her grandbaby.
But she can be paid for it.
Right, she can be paid for that.
And so that's absolutely. So we will support and do what we can to help her get Trustlined. We do that as well.
Right. We just wanted to give the possibility of if that grandmother wants to watch, her daughter's son, but her daughter's best friend has a little boy that, I want them to play together. So now we're looking at 2 different families. And we want to help her so she can stay in legal sense, in that, but also have a small business. And even though if you apply and become a small family childcare or a large family childcare, you can still only have what you want to have. You can have just 3 children. You don't have to have 8. You don't have to have 14. You can just stay with 2. You're licensed. So maybe, as your grandson is growing up, going to school, you don't have anybody now. So now you want to have another family or 2, So you have that possibility of growing and learning and having your own business, but you don't have to be like, I have to have, all 8 kids right now. I have to have all 14 kids right now. You want to change, you want to do nights, or you just want to do weekends, or, you want to help those first responders who are out there working 12-hour shifts. I have many providers that they see the need of helping first responders, helping families that now have babies. We have a high need of families that just need infant care. I mean, if you understand, we're all in that pandemic and we all stayed home. It's like we have a baby boom. So we have, many, many families that have babies that need family childcare that have infant care. So that is something to think about for that.
Now, the place to go to apply for the reimbursement, was that on one of the flyers that you had shown earlier?
The reimbursement for which?
For the APP program that we're offering right now. Okay, so that they can go on our website, the crrsbc.org, under family services, apply for childcare. There's English, Spanish, and they can just apply, and then we get that, and then we can follow up with them. Or they can come into either office and say, I want to apply for childcare, and we help them through that. They can call our office. We can email it to them. So there's many, many ways that we can get that application to them. And right now there's such a high need for that, and we want to get as many people enrolled as possible.
We would love to help with that. So any other questions from your end, Rebecca? I think we're reaching a natural conclusion.
So we had just have one more slide if there's no more questions. We all good? Okay, so I'm going to go, our next slide is our last one. And And we have it's a QR code, is for an evaluation. We just like to see if anybody would be willing to do that. We would love the feedback. We want to know what we can do and help providers out there with more information that's more for them and see what they need. We wanted to make sure that we have that information to them. So if you can, please, if you've never done a QR code, you just hold your phone up in the your picture app. You just hold it up and it will come. There's a little pop-up for SurveyMonkey, and it's all right there. It's probably less than a minute to complete. If you are using your phone currently, we can also put that link in the chat box, and then you can just click on it from that way too.
I will be sending out surveys later from our end, so I can send this one.
Oh,
as
well,
well.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, no problem.
Because we also want the feedback, Holly, of anybody that, wants to say, you guys rushed through it, I needed more time, or, we learn by what our audience has to say, and that's important to us because we're here to serve. That's our main mission, is to serve the people in our county and the families and the children. So if we get feedback back, then we have ideas of what we need to do to change to meet the support for the rest of the families.
And our very last slide is our names.
Here's how you can get a
and-
hold of us.
Yes.
So where you see Eva in the center, that's our Santa Barbara office address, as well as her email. And then to the right on the last column on the bottom is Miriam. Those are the two in our Santa Barbara office. Everybody else is up here in the Santa Maria office. However, they can reach us. They can reach out to us as well, and we can help however we can. But those two ladies are there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
All right. Well, thank you, Christine Fleenor and Jill Copeland, for joining us on this webinar today. We will be posting this on YouTube shortly, we usually have like a couple weeks turnaround getting it up on YouTube. So any participants who want to review, it will be there soon. And we hope to see y'all again at the next Nurturing Know-How. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for all the work that you're doing throughout our county and supporting all of these ladies and gentlemen who are caring for the children in our county. We so appreciate it. And we cannot wait to do a stay and play.
We're excited.
We're so excited.
Well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.